What is up, gang? Andy here, Biohazard Declassified as always. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the Resident Evil Retrospective. Thank you once again for entering the survival horror with us today. Man, we're going to have a great stream. I actually don't have my controller. Let me just grab it. We're going to have a really good stream today. I'm super excited to jump back in. It's been a week since I played Director's Cut. We're jumping straight in with Chris's scenario. We're not hanging about today. We're jumping straight in arrange mode. And we're going to have a hell of a lot of fun, let me tell you guys. It's been a wild stream. Thank you for the follow. It's been a wild week in Resident Evil. We will get to that as we're going. But thank you all for tuning in. Let's get a show on the road. Corey, thank you. Gary, Seth, Andrew, Robbie. H is in the chat. Let's fucking go. Love it. Ready to enter the survival horror indeed. Super Cooper Killer, how's it going? Mrs. Kennedy here. We're probably going to be playing 1.5 next week, so super excited to jump in with that. Thank you, Mark. How are you?
Situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we're searching for the helicopter.
This is PS1, Mark.
Bravo team, who disappeared during the middle of our mission.
Cedric, how are you?
Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently...
It's all good, Annie. Welcome over
Bravo
to Twitch.
Team went to the hideout of the group.
Man, all platforms are popping off right now. Thank you, Foot Buddy. Appreciate that. So, if you're just tuning in, we are playing the Director's Cut version of Resident Evil 1. I'm going to go through the differences as we're playing, as I did last week.
Nobody was in it.
You'll be pleasantly surprised.
Most of the equipment was still there. However, we soon discovered why.
This is Chris's, Alexis. Chef Joe plays. How's it going? Coco, thank you. Oh, trust me, Foot Buddy. If anything, I'll need to give you advice. Jordan, I'll come to that in just a second. Dude, everyone's been talking to me about this RE1 remake. I'm going to address it. I've got a video coming out in 3 hours, and I've articulated my thoughts. I shot it before the stream, but I will be articulating it as we're playing, and the video will go up afterwards over on our YouTube account, youtube.com/Biohazard Declassified. Ryan, how are you? Thank you. McBrew. What did you think of that, Anusha? Marie, thank you. Happy Chappy. Appreciated.
Captain Wesker, Jill, and myself.
Here we go, gang. Welcome back to the survival horror. Welcome to the Resident Evil Retrospective.
Chris Redfield.
Holes, how's it going? The boy, Charlie Kraslavsky.
Jill Valentine. Barry Burton. Rebecca Chambers. Albert Wesker. Resident Evil.
Let's go, gang. I hope you all had a good day. Let's jump in with some Resident Evil 1. And again, if you're just tuning in, Andy here, Biohazard Declassified, dedicated Resident Evil content creator, streams memes, daily Resident Evil content. If you like the content, drop a follow. I'll make sure you like the stream. That's extremely helpful.
Where's Barry?
Well, I'm sorry, but he's probably...
No. What is that?
I'll go and check.
Okay, Jill and I will stay in the hall in case of an emergency.
Thank you, Osty. No one's found... Well, we have found Jill,
Chris?
David. She just doesn't want to be found, unfortunately.
Take care.
Rizina, thank you for the rose. Let me make sure the audio's on. Sorry, I keep doing this for Tiki Toki. Okay, right, so I'll be remiss if I didn't initially talk about this. Everyone's been tagging me in it all day. Oh, thank you very much for the follows. That's appreciated. Everyone's been talking about it all day to me. I've been tagged and tagged and tagged. Yes, I know there's talk about a Resident Evil 1 remake coming out. I've got a full video articulating all of my viewpoints coming out within the next 3 hours after the stream wraps. I've got it rendered. I just need to upload it. But yes, in short, there's talk about a 30th anniversary Resident Evil coming back out on the RE engine, all that fun stuff. What do you guys think? Yes or no? Should we see Resident Evil 1 once again be remade for modern platforms? There's not really a lot to the leak. The breadth of the leak is 2026. It's going to be the 30th anniversary of Resident Evil. And to coincide with that, they're going to be re-releasing Resident Evil 1 on the RE engine. So, there's really two categories here. I don't think anybody does not like Resident Evil 1 or there is a case that it shouldn't be remade. I don't think the argument is should it be remade. It's do we need to see a remake of Resident Evil 1? Thank you very much for the follow over on TikTok. Do we need to see a Resident Evil 1 remake? I mean, at the end of the day, I need to go back. I'm a Resident Evil content creator. I love Resident Evil games. If they remake it, I'm not going to be sad about it. It gives me a reason to go back to the Spencer Mansion. But it's in the manner of how they're going to remake it. Are they going to do a re-release of Resident Evil 1? Are they going to do what they did with Dead Space, for example? And they effectively, it's different. It's a remake. It's like a hybrid between a remake and a remaster, where it's different enough to be classed as a remake. But to be honest, Dead Space 2008 still holds up against Dead Space 2023. If you get what I'm saying, do they do a remake like that where it's a little bit different, or do they do a fully from the ground up remake? Thank you for the share. Do they do a fully from the ground up remake of Resident Evil 1 where they readapt the lore? Let me just check. Yep, where they completely readapt the lore for a modern audience. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to be going through all of your comments as I'm playing. Mickle Wife 42 coming in with a subscription over on Twitch as well, subscribing at tier 1. Welcome to Team Biohazard. And this is where we all shout ourselves back in the 90s. Or in me, the early 2000s. Asian 47, thank you. The boy. Again, what's interesting is the director's cut is still heavily censored. Well, the UK and certainly the US ones, which I find interesting. So, oh shit, I might come back to this actually because I don't want to take too much damage. We'll come back. I'm going to talk about some of the differences between Resident Evil director's cut and the original. So, if you didn't tune into my stream previously, Resident Evil Director's Cut exists because they were going to bring out Resident Evil 2 back in 1997. They got 80% of the way through it and thought, you know what, screw it. We're going to get rid of it. We're going to start from the beginning again and create a brand new Resident Evil 2, which is what we now know as Resident Evil 2. As an apology to fans, they re-released Resident Evil 1 with loads of like mini changes to kind of bring it in line with DualShock at the time. A new soundtrack. Well, this was one of the versions. You get a new soundtrack, new costumes, new game modes, etc. as a way of apologising to fans for taking so long with Resident Evil 2, which did end up coming out in 1998. So initially, the first difference you're going to notice, we're playing on advanced mode, which is a harder version of Resident Evil 1. I think it's a definitive way of playing Resident Evil 1 because even if you're a battle-tested RE1 player, it kind of keeps you on your toes. Is there a way I can jog this on? I'll come back to it. So yeah, that's what we're playing on today. Raccoon City Pizza coming in with a $2 super chat. Hunters need to hunt, make them mini stalkers. Thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate you joining the stream today. Tyrone, how are you? Thank you. And we got all the boys and girls in the chat today.
Wesker? Jill?
What happened to Jill and Wesker? Why did it look so real? Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
What happened to Jill and Wesker?
I won't be doing the RE2 demo that is including Director's Cut, but I will be doing 1.5 because I think there is basis to include that as part of the retrospective. Yeah, you know the score, Keith. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you dropping by. Remember, guys, we are live across the board, across all platforms today. Appreciate you all dropping by and checking the stream out today. What happened to Jill and Wesker? Okay, so with Chris, you only get 6 slots, which is a pain in the arse, let me tell you. Ben, thank you. And that's a great point, actually, from Keith. Do they wait for the next PlayStation console, or do they release it on the PlayStation 5? I'd thought they released it on the PlayStation 5. How many times did they re-release games for PlayStation 4 when they could have just skipped the opportunity, you know? No, this is just the PlayStation 1 version, Stephen. Yeah, I did, Ari Veteran. Okay. Because I thought I could start halfway through it, but I thought, you know, we'll start from 0 again. I think that'd be good. So this is a unique addition to Director's Cut. Some people know about it, some people don't. Forrest reanimates, which is kind of scary. Chris Redfield indeed. Oh, that's another little feature you'll notice of the Director's Cut version. Check this pistol. This is an enhanced Beretta, and you get a chance to actually do critical hits on certain enemies, which is really, really cool. We're just going to pick that up. And as you notice here, this is a massive change. We get the mansion key stupidly early. Sorry, the armor key stupidly early. You'd need the chemical for that originally. Thank you for the shares. Andy Grieve coming in with the 145. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you, Andy. Aaron, how are you? What are your thoughts on the Resident Evil game they did as the original, the 2002 remake? Exceptional. The definitive way of playing Resident Evil 1, in my opinion. That's what I would suggest. Oh boy, we just got a big one, guys. Snake Stogie's coming in with a raid over on Twitch, sending 23 of his esteemed community over. Thank you very much, Snake. Always appreciated. Welcome everybody to the Resident Evil retrospective. We're going back in time. We're going back to 1997, where life was simpler. And we're talking all about Resident Evil Director's Cut. We've had chatter about the Resident Evil 1 remake leak. Let's call it a leak. The anticipated 2026 release of Resident Evil 1 remake, a remake if you can believe it. I would love to know, initially, thank you for tuning in and joining the stream. I would love to know what your thoughts are about Resident Evil 1 returning back in 2026. Now, interestingly enough, I can't remember if this cutscene is in the original Resident Evil 1, but this is a little bit different than what you're probably used to. You actually meet Rebecca with Richard, as you can see. It's kind of weird.
Who are you?
We are getting old, man.
I'm Chris of Alpha Team. I've come to rescue you. Richard.
Probably Code Veronica, to be honest, Ryan. I'd like to see a Code Veronica remake. Exactly the same foot booty. Exactly the same. So I am Biohazard Declassified on all platforms. Thank you for the shares, gang.
Richard, don't talk. He seems to have been bitten by a poisonous snake, but the size of the wound is abnormally large.
It's not just a poisonous snake. It's a
I bet
monster.
it's valid Raccoon City Pizza.
Richard, he needs serum, but we left it in another room.
Okay, I'll go.
All right, I'll go. Kirsten, thank
Hurry,
you. Jeff,
please.
appreciate that. Jeff brings up a great
I
point
will.
over on FBG.
Wait here. I'll
why
be
don't
back soon.
Why don't they remake Dino Crisis? It was a great game. It certainly was, and I am shocked that they haven't remade that. Of all the survival horror fucking explosions recently across media, across the gaming space, why hasn't Dino Crisis been touched? It's mental. Right, so we... Oh, fuck! That was a jump scare. Didn't expect that. What a naughty boy. Oh, no way. Oh, there you go. Never liked Chris's outfit in Director's Cut. Reckon they could have done much better. Yeah, it's kind of bizarre. It's like a harness and a white shirt. That's it. But what is beautiful about this is you can go back to the uniform room at any time. Like, actually, I'll go back there. I'll go right back there now. Fuck it. Why not? Iron Size, how are you? Great to have you in the chat. Apologies, I missed the Snake. Great to have you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. RE1 in the RE engine, count me in. Agreed, Snake. It's a couple of years ago it was a bit of a pipe dream, but now it appears to be a reality. And again, nothing's been confirmed. It's just you know, pinch of salt stuff. I would like to see. I mean, oh no way! I just did that. No way! I just did that. Oh, Andrew, you've joined at a perfect time. Actually, we've got people across all platforms today, and we're all talking about this alleged Resident Evil 1 remake that's coming out in 2026. Now, again, take it with a pinch of salt. It's just a leaker or an alleged insider that's talking about it. But I'd really like to know your thoughts on what you believe Capcom should do with a Resident Evil 1 remake. If they do anticipate in doing it, where should they go with it? And I actually I've made a video, and it's going to go up like a couple of hours after this stream. And I've actually said, why don't they use this as a unique opportunity to kind of fill in some gaps? And I know we're going back round to Keeper's Diary, right? But there are things in Keeper's Diary which just aren't in the mansion, which was obvious when we shot the film, where we had to come up with new areas. And what I mean is, there's no infirmary in the mansion. You know, we're meant to believe that the Keeper was not allowed to leave the site, whereas the infirmary in the mansion, there isn't one. Another thing that's not in there, the Keeper is obviously looking after the dogs. Where are the kennels in the Spencer mansion? They could use this as a unique opportunity to insert these areas into the game. That's what I'm saying. It's oh shit, reload. Kennel is in every room in the house, but I mean it's a valid point. Oh shit, I'm nearly out of ammo. Big Bald Margaret, thank you for the follow, appreciate that. Michael with the heart as well, thank you. Exactly, Nathan. Like, I would say that, like, what more can they do with in terms of adding areas? But then I thought, man, there are notes in the Keeper's Diary which says he's been to these areas which we cannot find. Hey, Chrissy, how are you? Great to have you in the chat. But literally, I mean, you know, it's Resident Evil news where, like, I'm just straight up getting tagged across the place. Don't matter what platform it is. Instagram, X, Facebook. Everyone is tagging me like, Andy, you've got to check out this leak. You've got to check out this leak. So yes, after the video, after we conclude our stream today, we're going to be running for another 2 hours. I don't think we'll finish the game, but we'll be talking about our memories about Resident Evil Director's Cut. And then after that, I'll be putting up the that video. I think you guys are really going to like it. Where are the labs? None of the rooms in the labs are anything like for the study of viruses. Yeah, like, obviously there's a scene in the Keeper's Diary where they are observing a skinned gorilla, or an animal that looks like a skinned gorilla. That observatory area is straight up just not in the game. How are you? How are you? This is an emulator. The graphics look better than the original Resident Evil 1. Yes, we are using DuckStation. We are using DuckStation to emulate this one. Looks fantastic. Andrew just dropped a big message. Well, they suck ass at making sequels since 5 was released. They're pretty good at banking off remakes. I wouldn't be surprised if they remade 0, 1, CV and 5. Let's be real. Ari died after 5. A bit of a nihilistic comment, this one. And has since lost its identity and redefined itself just like every other franchise these days. Look at Star Wars. I mean, we talk about Star Wars all the time. I don't even think you can call it Star Wars anymore, especially after that Acolyte shit. I think I think your opinions are valid. I actually really do enjoy the remakes, and I think what they want to do is they want to retell Resident Evil 1 in a canon that they like, if you know what I mean. Michael, thank you for the gifts over on TikTok. Really appreciate it. So this is their opportunity to pick up Resident Evil 1 and kind of mold it to fit that brand new canon that they've established, you know. Ray, thank you. Yes, so actually, Tyrone, Andrew is actually over on Facebook right now, talking in the chat. He did put up another video. Yeah, it's not the same, I agree. He did put up another update video. We've got a couple more scenes that we're just doing a little bit of post on. And Andrew's been sending a couple of progress images over. They look fantastic. We're so close. We're so close. Just what I would say is just monitor either the Indiegogo campaign. I've started to put out the posters as like posts, so you can see what you guys have pledged to, because you couldn't really tell in the perk image what actually you're pledging to outside of the name. So I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. B-Server's done a fantastic job on these posters, and yes, once I've got all in, I've said I'm going to send out an email to all of our backers, and we're going to start just going through the list and sending them all out. So, loving the movie poster. Thank you for that. Yeah, and that's actually a great point. I'm going to ask everybody in the chat right now. New canon, old canon. Let us know what you think. Do you love the new Resident Evil canon? And let's limit that to Resident Evil 2, 3 and 4 remake. Or do you like the original canon? Yeah, I must admit, and I think we've spoken about this previously, Andrew, but Resident Evil 7 and 8 just don't give me a reason to want me to go back and play them. Like, not like this. Dude, I could play this game every single day. I'm not even joking. This game is exceptional. And I'll tell you what, we need to get a move on, because Richard is currently dying from being eaten by a poisonous snake. GM, how are you? I mean, like, when I say canon, I'm talking about how different Resident Evil... I'm going to come back to this. Oh, beautiful. Sorry, guys, I completely forgot to explain. So, you actually don't need a closet key in this game to get the special costume. In arrange mode, you can just walk into it. So, we've got the Made in Heaven, obviously a tribute to Queen's Made in Heaven song. Made in Heaven... Stella, how are you? Oh boy. Shit. Never good. Now I'm sure these guys throw up on you, so we should be okay. Ben, how are you? Ben Redfield's in the chat today. So when I say canon, I mean they've established like a brand new storyline within the remakes. Like, there are things that happen in Resident Evil 2 remake and 3 remake that didn't happen in the original. That's what I mean by canon. Oh shit! Sorry, that scared the shit out of me. Your jacket looks like that wallpaper in your advert. Wallpaper? Oh yeah, a lot of my branding is inspired by Resident Evil 1. Max, how are you? Thank you. Again, huge shout out to Snake Soken for sending his viewers our way earlier as part of that raid. Very, very appreciate you checking the stream out today. If you don't know who I am, my name's Andy. This is Biohazard Declassified. I'm a dedicated Resident Evil content creator. I do a lot of streams, memes, daily Resident Evil content across all platforms. I go live every Wednesday with the Resident Evil Retrospective, and of course Sundays are for Lara Croft. So we've been working our way through the series. So if you enjoy the content today, make sure you drop a follow. It's certainly appreciated. And if you're feeling super charitable, I'd appreciate a like as well. Thank you, everyone. Right, let me pop some of this away, because I've got ammo now, which is good. So you'll notice from the original that some of these locations of enemies are just all over the place. So you've got to be on it. How do we go from zombies and big scary monsters to big booby ladies and werewolves? Well, this is the thing, when you have a series that reinvents itself so much, Andrew, everyone's got a different interpretation on what they believe Resident Evil to be. So, what do I believe Resident Evil is? This dude. That's what I believe Resident Evil is. What else do I believe Resident Evil is? Fucking this dude. The green zombie boy. What do I believe? What do I believe Resident Evil to be? The Resident Evil Eye, of course. Resident Evil is nothing without the Resident Evil Eye. What do I believe Resident Evil to be? What we got here? The iconic Judge Dredd. The iconic Judge Dredd render from the box art, you know? It's fixed camera angles, it's not knowing what's round the corner, it's limited saves, it's item boxes. That's what we believe Resident Evil to be. Thank you for the shares. I also believe, Andrew, that with particular regard to Resident Evil Village, they did not know what they had with Lady Dimitrescu. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh. Just want to quickly jump in here. 90s survival horror, you know the score. Yeah, they really didn't know what they had with Lady Dimitrescu. So when you see the marketing for Resident Evil Village, you thought Lady Dimitrescu was like the main boss, and when you play Resident Evil Village, you realise it's Mother Miranda. Yes, tyrants. Obviously ending the game with a rocket launcher. These are things in Resident Evil which fundamentally make it Resident Evil. Oh yeah, I haven't got that key, have I? I can never remember where the sword key is in this game. In the range mode. But yeah, I truly believe Capcom didn't realise how big Lady Dimitrescu was going to be, so when the game did come out and it turns out she was only like the first boss, it like everyone was like, oh, is that it? Like she just passed away. Would you prefer remakes or a new story? Oh, I would like to say new story, right? I really would like to say new story, but the problem with saying that is I don't trust Capcom enough to make an engaging story. Like, as I'm saying, like 7 and Village were exceptional survival horror games, but like they just don't hold my interest enough to want to play them again. I'd only play them again to like get the platinum trophy, basically. Yeah, I think there's a lot of credence. There's a lot of I can see that being relatable, Andrew. I still think there is such mileage, and that's probably going to be my next. I'm trying to do like one weekly video over on our YouTube, which is like a dedicated video. So last week was Outbreak. This week is the Resident Evil 1 remake. Next week's going to be probably either Dino Crisis remake, or we're going to be talking about the Resident Evil Classics collection, because I do believe there is such merit in re-releasing Resident Evil 1 as a Classics collection. Excuse me, Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3 as a Classics collection. 100%. Like, I want to see them on modern hardware. Like, Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3, the originals, are like the most inaccessible Resident Evil games at the moment. Like, unless you play it on PC and you know about Classic Rebirth, which the casual person isn't going to know about Classic Rebirth. You're going to have to go out and research it. It should be. There is no reason why Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3 as part of a Classics collection don't have platinum trophy support and aren't on modern platforms. I'm not asking for another remake. I'm just asking for them to be re-released on modern hardware. They could just get what's his name, Gemini, to release his code and help them out. You know, I don't know why they can't do that. Yeah, let's quickly save Richard because he's like, oh no, he's dead. Oh, we took too long talking about Resident Evil 1. Let me see those F's in the chat, gang. Let me see those F's in the chat. Cheers. Gone but not forgotten. Oh, F in the chat for the boy. Oh man, that was my bad. I spent too much time gas bagging. It was only because Elin Schaefer, how's it going? It was only because Alexis over on Facebook said, Richard? I thought, oh yeah, I need to save him. But I guess it was too late. Right, so I do need the sword key, but I cannot remember for the life of me where it is. To be fair, he dies anyway. I'm going to keep the Siren on me for me. Thank you for the shares. Oh, they're not dead. Oh, 100% Mickle Wife. I would love the 1, 2 and 3 to be released as Classics collections. In a time where Classics collections are just getting dumped across the board, I'm thinking Metal Gear Solid. I'm thinking, yeah, not doing too bad, thank you, Lynn. Yeah, I'm thinking Metal Gear Solid. I'm thinking, didn't Alone in the Dark recently have a re-release? Hey, Sornek, how are you? Great to have you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Survival Horror. We're playing some Resident Evil 1 as part of our Retrospective series. Just going back through the games very casually. Kind of reminiscing on our favourite memories of Resident Evil 1. And obviously with the recent news, and again, this is all pinch of salt stuff. Thank you, Veronica. Hope you're doing well. This is all pinch of salt stuff. Do we believe Resident Evil is coming back in the form of another Resident Evil 1 remake? I would love to know your thoughts on that. Thank you, Undone Robbie. You'll be back for Lara Sunday. That is the best news I've heard all day. Hey, Holster, thank you for the share over on Tiki Toki. Hope you're doing well. Snakebite, how are you? Just got my GameCube to HDMI adapter so I can play the GameCube on my monitor. Should I play 3 or 2? 100% Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 is by far my all-time favourite game, let me say. Chev, thank you for the GGs, appreciate that. James, how are you? Is this the original or director's cut? It'll be interesting to see what they do with the new remake of the remake. I agree. And again, I've got a video coming out in like 2 to 3 hours. We're going to be going into detail on kind of our extended thoughts on it, really. I would say that dude, there's so many avenues they can go down. They can just do a one-to-one. They can either re-release Resident Evil 1 on PS5, which is probably the easiest thing that they can do. They could port Resident Evil 1 to the RE engine, so give it kind of over the shoulder, but fundamentally it's still the same game. Or they could, from the ground up, build it on the RE engine and, you know, add a few more details to make it a more complete game, which is a hard thing to do because Resident Evil 2002 remake is already an exceptional game. But obviously, you know, as a supporter of the Keeper's Diary, there are things in the Keeper's Diary which straight up, to be honest, are not in the mansion. So we're talking about the infirmary. Where's the infirmary? You know, people weren't allowed to leave the mansion in the Keeper's Diary. So where's the infirmary where he gets the bandage put on? Where is the observatory area where you see the gorillas without any skin? You know, you're looking with the senior researcher into an area with, you know, showing the pig and the gorilla without any skin, you know, him get him destroyed. Where is that? That's not in the game. Where are the kennels for the keeper? Like the, the fucking keeper, his job is to look after the dogs. Where is that in the mansion? I'll tell you what, it's not. It's not in the mansion, it's not in the guardhouse, it's not in the lab. So maybe they've got a unique opportunity here where they can retell Resident Evil 1 in a way that fits in with their brand new canon that they established with Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 Remake. I would love to know everybody's thoughts on, assuming this is all correct, assuming, yes, we are getting a Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 1 remake in 2026, what direction do they go? Which avenue would you like to see them go for a Resident Evil 1 remake? That's what I want to know. Is Chris Redfield from Yorkshire? I hope not. Hey up, pal. What help me put gear in car? Hey, Faceless is in the chat. Let's fucking go. Huge shout out to Faceless Art. Fellow Grap brother. Welcome into the Resident Evil Retrospective, as always on a Wednesday, 9 PM UK time. Let me pop this in. There is talk, you may have seen it, Faceless, there is talk of a Resident Evil 1 remake. A remake. They are going to... Well, we don't know what they're going to do, but 2026 would mark the 30-year anniversary of Resident Evil as a franchise. So I don't know what direction they're going. I really don't know. If they remake it, to what extent do you want to see it remade? Do we need to see the mansion incident retold again? I don't know how they're going to do it differently, because you are literally reinventing the wheel. I honestly think they are, if in my honest opinion, they're just going to port Resident Evil 1 2002 to the RE engine. So it's got all the bells and whistles of the RE engine, but it's fundamentally still Resident Evil 1. I believe that's what they're going to do. However, I wouldn't be shocked if they straight up do a from the ground up remake with new areas, new scenarios, etc. And again, they really want to make it compatible with that lore that they've established in Resident Evil 2 and 3 Remake. Gary coming in with 100 stars. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well, sir. James, how are you? How about a prequel of Resident Evil 1 before they arrive? Well, I mean, there are some stories that they can tell there. They could actually tell a Keeper's Diary story as a little snippet in the game. That'd be cool. Kind of like a walking area, like Sherry's campaign in RE2. I could see that happening. I'd really like them to tell the story of... There's that iconic thing at the start of Resident Evil 1 where, you know, there's been reports of people being attacked by groups of around 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten. I would like to see that. I would like to see that in Resident Evil 1. I'd like to see how Wesker got out, like they showed in Umbrella Chronicles. You know, there was a whole scenario of Wesker escaping. You know, I died once. I'd like to see that. Christ, I'm going to be 43 in 2026. Don't dwell on it, Andy. Don't dwell on it. You're only as old as you feel. I'd love to see an OG 1 to 3 on Steam modern consoles. Exactly. I think there's so much scope for it. I really do. It's an easy money maker. Surely the development cost is going to be so much lower to re-release the Classics collection on modern platforms than a full-on remake, but who knows? Three beds and only one toilet, Mulch. So, dude, if someone's in the crapper and the keeper needs to go to the toilet, man, he's got to get the crests out. He's got to get all the way to the guardhouse. Hey, Revolution Child, how are you? Man, today is popping. We got a bunch of people in the chat. Hardcore Resident Evil fans. We're talking about our favourite game series. Every Wednesday we go through... We are slowly and steadily going through the entirety of the Resident Evil campaign. So if you're enjoying the stream, make sure you hit that follow. Make sure you hit that like button. It's really appreciated. At this rate, if they're going to remake Resident Evil 1, there would be a whole lot less pressure because the 2002 one was perfect. Oh, I don't know. Is that kind of a... I think that ups the ante, to be honest. It really ups the ante. Because now they've really got to try and... This was the issue that they had with the Resident Evil 2 remake. They had to succeed, in my opinion, a 10 out of 10 game. And they didn't. I mean, Resident Evil 2 is remake is unbelievably good. But they just couldn't topple the original Resident Evil 2. There are things in Resident Evil 2 that it just does better than the remake. One of the examples is the scenario system. It just works better in the original. Having Mr. X hidden until the B scenario keeps it fresh. There is literally no reason to play scenario B in the remakes. Really, if you think about it. I need the... Let me go get the lighter. Where'd you get the wallpaper on the end? What, this? I got it off of T Public. Let me go get the lighter, actually. Oh, 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 oh. Exactly, Faceless. That's what people are thinking. Where did you get the wallpaper on the end? In Keeper's Diary? Wait, what are we talking about? What, the blue wallpaper in the Keeper's Diary? Yeah, some people did live in the mansion. Hey, Geordie, how are you? Did you hear there could be an RE1 remake releasing in 2026? I don't. It's almost like we've been spending the last 40 minutes talking about it. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Always appreciated. So I'm just catching up on chat here. I don't know. I don't know what more they can do with... If they are going to, change Resident Evil 1, I don't know what more they can do. Did I pick the... to make it better than Resident Evil 1 remake? It's a tall order, man. It's a tall order. What do you think, Andy? Remake this classic in the RE engine with new areas like 2 and 3, or just polish this one up? Well, that is the ultimate dilemma, because at least if they just polish it up, they're effectively relying on the hype of an old game, which is a hell of a lot easier rather than trying to better an older game. Because let's be honest, people don't make games to make them worse. They make games to make them better. It's all good, Geordie. I'll have a full video if you go on over on our YouTube, youtube.com/Biohazard Declassified. I'll have a full video up of my extended thoughts in a couple of hours, so feel free to watch that. They can add real graps. What, like Leon in Resident Evil 4? Right, sorry. Did I still not pick the lighter up? No, I haven't. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a tangent. I always like the slower pace of RE1 would work brilliantly in VR. Yeah, they kind of... I'm surprised that they haven't made more games in VR, to be honest. Like in the Resident Evil space. Or at least ported. I think it's not that way, it's this way. Would be class if they get Charlie Kroslovsky and the OG, and the OG actors to come back. Oh, that'd be amazing. And on my SoundCloud, there is a Resident Evil audio drama that someone made ages ago called Geekums. Her website is no longer available. I made it to download if anyone's interested. Resident Evil Forsaken. Yeah. I'll listen to that. That sounds cool. Would you like to see a game about Wesker? I mean, it's not out of the realms of possibility. Chode Veronica and Girth Crisis remake. I didn't expect to read that. Put it in Messenger. Is there any way to still get... So this is not a question I haven't been asked before. Is there any way to get the Keeper's Diary posters if we miss the campaign? As of the time of today, no. Quite, but we are looking at ways that we can get around it, because the big issue, and I don't want to peel the curtain back too much, but we have kind of made those Keeper's Diary posters, and everything in the Keeper's Diary campaign hinges on the fact that we are doing everything not for profit. So I don't think... Mark, can we... Do you really need to argue in the chat with people? Like, just agree to disagree and move on. But the Keepers... Like, the posters, everything is for profit. Not for profit, excuse me. So if we then enter the realm of for profit, it sets a dangerous precedent. So we're going to need to research how, if people... There are severe interest in the posters again, then yeah, we'll definitely explore it. But it's quite hard, because if we then start selling, quote unquote, selling the posters after the campaign, it opens us up to like a fucking cease and desist. In my opinion, we need a little bit. We need to follow the like legalities a little bit. To be honest, I need to sit down and think about it. If there's big interest in it, we'll have to explore it. But I don't know. Is the answer? I know that was a very, very circular fucking reasoning, but we got there in the end. Barry, where is Barry? John coming in with the 48 stars. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. What if I drop off some money in a duffel bag at a park and happen to find a poster later? Just tell me which park it is and how much money is going to be in the duffel bag, and I'm sure we'll come to a compromise. But on a serious note, they are glorious posters. Huge shout out to B-Serve for making all of that possible for us. Exceptional artist. That's why I use B-Serve on all my projects now. Really nice guy. Fast turnaround. I'll be putting up a post soon because he needs a spotlight, man. He's a really cool guy. Andy, I can't see the comments. You should be able to. There's quite a few comments over on the Book of Faces. My internet's Jack trying to catch you on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and it all freezes. Ugh. Damn. You should be able to catch the VOD on YouTube if we lose you. Have these posters been shown yet? So, oh, dude, I was going to be naughty and oh, fuck it, actually. Why not? Fuck it. Let me give me a second. You might not be able to see them on Facebook because I'm going to have to dick around with lots of stuff. But if you're watching on Twitch and YouTube, I'll show you. Fuck it. Why not? Let me see if I can find the... Find the folder. You're going to get an exclusive look here, guys. Folders? Keeper's Diary. Dual Vision. I think this is it. Yeah. The only one I don't have on here is the movie poster. I can't remember if the Indiegogo campaign lets us, because I'm not logged in. Hang on. I don't know if you need to be logged in to see the notes. Give me a second. Keeper's Diary. Oh, no. Not that one. Hey, Evan. It's not been confirmed yet. And I've got a video coming out in like 3 hours that's going to articulate it. Updates. Do I need to follow the campaign to see the updates? No. Awesome. Cool. So, let me... This one? Can you see this? Yeah, there we go. You guys can see it. Sorry, everybody over on Facebook and TikTok. You're on a slightly different system. I'm going to have to mess around with my stream to make you see it. So if you want to see it, go on over to Twitch. So yes, was there another one? Yeah, so this was the first poster that B-Surf put together for us. Absolutely fantastic. Chris Redfield. He's been de-aged. Oh, dude, it looks so good, man. I fucking love B-Surf. We then have the Keeper's Diary movie poster created by Cameron McPhee over on Twitter. I've known Cameron a very long time. Excellent artist. Done a good job. Really what I liked about this, and this is going to really get into it's just twitch.tv/Biohazard Declassified. It's in the pinned comment, Gary, if it helps. Or it's in the description if you're on Facebook. But yeah, what I really like about this poster, right, is it tells a story in itself, whether this was intentional or unintentional. So you've got the past, present, and future of what happens in the Keeper's Diary, right? So you've got I won't reveal how this character plays in it, but you've got that. You've obviously got the hunter, the skinned gorilla. Then you've got which makes up the past. Then you've got the keeper in the middle, makes up the present, telling the story of the Keeper's Diary. And then you have the future, which is Jill Valentine finding the Keeper's Diary. I hope that makes sense. But even more than that, the keeper is in the middle. It serves as this juxtaposition. He's in a no man's land in a way, because he's in the middle. Jill, like, he's in the middle. He's not associated with the guys on the left. He's not associated with Jill on the right. He's in no man's land, and it's perfectly articulated at the bottom here with the keeper in no man's land in front of the mansion. God, didn't you just love art, man? Didn't you just love art? But yes, that is that's one of the posters. So every day I'm going to be posting these posters. Terrible English, I know. In the lead up to me eventually pushing them out to everyone once we've agreed with a supplier. Within the next week, I should have a supplier locked in, basically. Then we've got the Keeper's Diary Made in Heaven Chris jacket, as it's called, for copyright purposes. Absolutely amazing. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can. Cool. And then these are the other ones that we've worked on. So it might take a little while. So we've got Jill. Not Jill. We're not allowed to use Jill legally. Female detective. We've got Charlie in Resurrection with the lighter. Obviously, Charlie's Made in Heaven get up. Charlie's Resurrection poster. Another Resurrection poster. Dude, these look fantastic, man. Jill Valentine. Agreed. Obviously, that was the one I showed earlier. This one, Special Operator, Security Operator. We're probably going to... I think we're opting for this one. Which is kind of a dark, evil-looking one. I can't remember if we went for the fast or the zoomed-in one. They both look exceptional, though. Obviously, we've got the keepers. Charlie as the keeper. I think that's the last one. Yeah. What do you think? Not Hunk, but Heap. No, brother, this is Hank. This is Hank. But yes, over the course of the next week, I'll be putting these posters up as separate posts on Indiegogo. So if you're a backer on Indiegogo, make sure you're checking your emails regularly. I'm pinning that because that's hilarious. Okay, right. So before I get myself into any more pickles, let's go back to the game. Oh, no, we're still live. Cool. Okay, yeah, right. So we've got the mansion key. We do need some health because I'm getting ripped. Now, again, those, as I was kind of alluding to earlier, so, I think it was Super Cooper Killer asked the question about, are we going to make these posters available to purchase afterwards? We just need to research the legalities around that because, again, all of these posters were sold on the premise and in the document that I sent back to Capcom as a rebuttal to them effectively taking down our project, which they didn't. I said that everything that is contained inside of our crowdfunding campaign is not for profit. So if we then start to sell the posters, we are kind of starting to stand on toes that I don't want to stand on. However, they might be all right with it. Justin, how are you? Great to have you in the chat. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in, man. It's appreciated. So I'll just catch up on the chat here. Right. And he drinks Bud Light. Carl, how are you? Started playing RE2 Remake earlier. I got to the part where you meet Marvin. Let's go. Love that. I want to know why Capcom specifically had, and we did reference it in the Keeper's Diary, I'll come back. I've seen your comment, Elizabeth. Give me a second. I'll come back to that. I want to know what Capcom's obsession with Queen was. Lisa wasn't added in the director's cut, no. Oh, you wanker. Just fucking vomited on me. I'd love to play this for the first time. I know, Ryan, if only. Yeah, but it's never, like, detailed why they love Queen so much, you know? Oh, that's close. Hey, Django. Oh, wanker. Oh. Let's get in before we catch a cold. Do you think Resident Evil 0 will get a remaster or a remake? That'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting to see. I'm not against it. If anything, that's probably one of the games that does desperately need a remaster. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of talks about RE5 being remade next, actually. That's a valid point. There we go. Damn. Oh, I actually shot one. I'll come back. Right, so we do need to get the chemical. Now, it's all about arse about face at the moment. Because there's just bodies everywhere. Oh, should we go see the keeper? I think we should. Fever gone, but itchy. Ugly face, so it killed him. Yeah, the item box, or the lack of item box in Resident Evil 0 is so frustrating. It's not even like everyone goes, oh yeah, it's because you know, skill issue or whatever. It's not a skill issue. It's just a poor fucking system. Like, it's just because at the end of the day, all you do is drop everything in that kind of main facility hall. So yeah, the fact you drop stuff that you need later sucks. Yeah, it's just poor. I just don't like it. It's a shame Arrange mode never made it outside of PlayStation. I'm surprised nobody's actually ported it to Classic Rebirth. Like, with everything, with advancements in Biohazard, stuff like that, I'm surprised this hasn't all kind of come full circle and they're just straight up ported to Arrange mode. Thank you, Ari Veteran. We'll see you soon, I'm sure. Ever noticed this says 200 cartridges on the shelves and you only get 7? I've never... Actually, let me have a look. Oh, so it does. 200 cartridges. I know, like, there's some regional differences as well. Like, some ports of the game say, like, bazooka. Some say grenade gun. It's very odd. But yeah, I would totally sorry, I just completely pure ADHD just took over then, sorry. Unfortunately, Chris can't read. I done I did remake the other day and my data is gone, so I have to beat it again to get the rocket launcher and Samurai Edge. Man, I love the first Resident Evil remake. Love it. Got the platinum on it as well. It's such a great platinum to get. Is that you, Rebecca?
Are you all right?
So he doesn't have his glasses on now.
I have decided not to grieve any longer. Ah, it's the Moonlight Sonata.
The Moonlight
you play?
Sonata. See? Just relax and play. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
Wait, what is that?
My interpretation is off a little. Chris, may I practice for a while?
Yeah, well, this is the issue. And funnily enough, you say this, Super Cooper Killer. That's maybe something that they can fix with Resident Evil 1 remake. Is how it's completely
just
retconned.
Relax and play.
All right.
Like, I appreciate they might have had 2 different development teams on 0 and 1. But, like, she'd just gone through that whole campaign in Resident Evil 0. And you can say in the original, obviously, they had no foresight when they developed this game that there'd be a Resident Evil 0. But, like, in the remake, there was full knowledge of Resident Evil 0. So, like, why is it... Oh, hang on, I was going to go back to Elizabeth. Damn it, sorry. fucking, I got completely sidetracked. I'll come back to you in a second. They completely forgot about Rebecca's whole adventure. Like, she's just like a complete idiot again. What's all that about? I know you said you could keep an eye on an email. I'm going to be out of town on vacation with limited access to emails in about a week. Do we have time to respond? Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, the way I see it now, Elizabeth, is I'm not going to... Because it's been like 6 months since everybody's committed, or probably 7 or 8 months now, actually. I'm not going to send anything until I get 100% receipt that it's going to the right place and I've got the correct size, for example. So don't worry, yeah. At worst, we just hold your stuff back until you reply to me. Right, just catching up here. What about digital copies for people to print? I mean, it doesn't really form part of the perk, so I'd say probably not. So I'm just catching up. I just realised I'd left my Facebook window right up there, and there's tons of comments. Just catching up quickly. Is there an official story of Resident Evil 1.5 out there? Script or rundown of what could have been? I appreciate it's incomplete. Just wanted to know your thoughts. If I don't respond, I'm dead. Okay, well then I get a free Keeper's Diary shirt. Boom. I suppose the short answer, James, is I'm not sure if there is. I know they've pieced together everything as part of the iGas build, but outside of that, I'm not sure. So what don't you want to see in a remake? That's a great question, Mark. We'll pose that to everyone in the chat as well. If they're going to remake Resident Evil 1 again, what do you not want to see either in it or return? This could be anything. This could be game design. This could be story related. So initially, I don't want to see any fucking loot boxes or battle passes in Resident Evil 1 remake. Keep that shit away from my Resident Evil. I'd like to see DLC. DLC would be good. You don't want to see Yawn. Cool. That's an interesting perspective. You don't want to see an item box, or you do want to see an item box? Oh shit. Do hunters poop? Ooh, I'm not sure. Probably. Playable Bravo team scenarios. I think it'd be good if they could at least tell if each of them's wearing a body cam, which we are led to believe. It'd be cool to have like tapes like they did in Resident Evil 7. I'd like to see that. So you can see what happens to Forrest. You could see what would be really, I'll tell you what would be really cool. Instead of doing, you know, like it, when you get into the lab in Resident Evil 1 Remake, you can see Kenneth's footage. Instead of that, why can't you take Enrico's tape out of his fucking whatever recorder? You take his tape out of his recorder, you put it in that machine, and you know where he's talking to you and Barry and gets shot? What if you see Wesker shooting him in that tape, and that's how it comes full circle? Not you looking through the film and Wesker's standing there with his sunglasses on. What if you see him in that tape shoot on Rico? Dude, I've just thought about this second. That'd be amazing. Yeah, I think loading screens, that won't be a problem. Having to burn zombies was a pain. Oh, great point by... Great point by Paul, by the way. Having to burn zombies. Yeah, let's get rid of that. It's not used anywhere else in the canon. It does mean that Crimson Head... I suppose you could still have Crimson Heads if you don't kill the enemies. They reanimate. But not burning them... It's never used in Resident Evil again. Let's get rid of it. Boom. Oh no! Didn't mean to do that. Well, I did, but not this early. Yeah, it was just kind of annoying, you know. Next film, Andy, Bravo Team's Adventures. I'll start crowdfunding next week. Rosetti, thank you very much for the follow. The doorknob breaking, yeah, we can do with not having that again. This has been a really productive question. Thanks for that, Mark. Please, everybody else, even if you've never commented on a stream before, let us know. It could be annoyances with the 2002 remake. What do you not want to see? If they've got the opportunity to retell the story of Resident Evil 1 remake, Resident Evil 1 on the RE engine, what would you want to see? And what do you want to see omitted from Resident Evil 1? Oh, good night, sweet prince. Absolutely banished him to the Shadow Realm with that shot. Jesus. Ashley, how are you? I want them to keep locked camera angles, but I doubt they would. I'd like to see fixed camera angles return. I just, I don't think they will. I think fixed camera angles are kind of a little bit, even though this is my favourite way to play Resident Evil, they are a little bit outdated for modern technology. Sega had a battle game. Yep, a battle mode, that'd be helpful. A co-op play. What happens to Bravo Team? Yeah, DLC around Bravo Team would be exceptional because they can tell, like, a unique story, kind of like a Scenario B where, like, Kenneth's walking around the mansion solving shit and then he dies, you know? Like, it could be like the Forgotten Survivors. Oh yeah, they've got to have the iconic zombie looking over his shoulder, of course. We love it. We love the iconic zombie looking over his shoulder. Oh no! Oh, we gotta go. Oh no, this is bad. Oh no! I haven't saved it either. Ah, that's alright, hang on. Can we rewind it? I don't think we can on this. Can we rewind? No, we can't. We can fast forward, but we can't rewind. Oh, shit. That's all right. We'll jump back into it. Or... Wait, have I got a save file on here? I can't remember if I do.
Resident Evil.
I knew I was going to get fucking tied up by those wankers. I think I've got a save file. No, I don't. That's right. That's okay. I'll get us back into the game. Don't worry.
Resident Evil.
I didn't even have the broken shotgun. Yeah, you're right. Well, I didn't even know why I went in that room. Right, let me... There we go. We'll get it back. Don't worry. I did spend a long time dicking around with stuff, so... Yeah, you're right. I thought I had the broken shotgun on me, but I've been playing Jill Scenario a lot and I completely forgot about it. Happy Wednesday. REOG rules. You're not wrong. The fate of the Trevor family. That'd be kind of cool. See, it has to be Resident Evil though. It can't just be a walking simulator, if that makes sense. What happened to Jill Wesker? I would prefer a story on Hank. There's a really... sorry, I left my cursor on screen. My bad. There's a really cool story called... it was so cool. I've forgotten about it. Oh, Containment. Resident Evil Containment. Where they go back to the facility after it's been... Or after the initial, like, outbreak, but before the STARS team enter. I think that'd be cool. Yeah, oh, it's tragic, Andy. It's tragic. But it's alright, I don't mind. We're just going to use the next hour or so just to dick around, reminisce, have a chat about our favourite Resident Evil memories and stuff. Beautiful. Sent him to sleep. Right, we've got an opportunity to not mess this up. Yeah, I've literally already rendered it out, Andy, actually. So, literally, once I finish at 12 p.m., 12 a.m., excuse me, I will upload the video straight away. We love a juicy headshot. Remember, it will go live midnight, youtube.com/Biohazard Declassified. And my boy, my absolute boy of all boys, has made me a brand new intro, which I'm super fucking happy with. And that will debut today. Hey, Han, how are you? Great to have you in the chat. I didn't know you watch Resident Evil streams around these parts. Never noticed that Forrest had a mullet. Yes, he does, yeah. It's me,
Who
Chris.
are you?
Oh, wait, no, that's...
I'm Chris of Alpha Team. I've come to rescue you. Richard, what happened?
I'm just going to skip this because we did just see this. Love the content, man. It's great to see people with even bigger love for Resident Evil. Well, it's a great story, actually. So, and this is information for other people in the chats as well, is that when I was growing up, I'm 29 now, which is a scary, absolute scary number. I'm 29 now, and hang on, sorry. Oh shit! Okay, get myself into a pickle again. I'm 29 now, and I was kind of late to Resident Evil because I used to watch my parents play it when I was like 4 and 5, and I just developed a love for it. But it did mean that my favourite game when I was growing up was Resident Evil. It has been one of my favourite game series. But all my friends, they love Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, etc., etc. So I never could relate with people. It was only when I, kind of made Biohazard Declassified that all became kind of a reality. Oh, I'm going to run out of ammo. Because I spent so long just not being able to talk to people about my favourite game series, and now we've got all of these people in the chat, all from unique parts of the world, all different ages, all talking about our favourite game series. It's the most wholesome thing I've been a part of, let me tell you. I was hoping to get a headshot there. I know I haven't killed these guys. Oh, there's nothing better in Resident Evil 2 Remake than getting an absolutely juicy headshot. Resident Evil 2 Remake probably has one of the better sounding headshots. It sounds like you've just shot a watermelon. And it's like... It's just absolutely... The head's hanging off and shit. It's amazing. And I think that's where the success of Biohazard Declassified has come from, is because there are other people like me that just haven't had a chance to talk to other like-minded fans about their favourite game. It's kind of it's a shame, you know. That's a sad-looking shotgun, dude. Wouldn't Rebecca know, Chris? Yes, she would, because she's got an office, but I don't know. She's got a... a desk in the office, but I'm not sure how long she'd been in there. So that's a great point, though. Oh, shit. Oh, let's not check them. Yeah, exactly, Sornek, and that's the real beauty. That was the real beauty of Insomnia. Obviously, doesn't sound like Insomnia's about now. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be doing the next Insomnia unless someone buys it out, which is a real shame. That was a real cool event. Let's go, James. But it was that's what it should be about, you know. Just all talking about our favourite game series. Man, Resident Evil's so unique. It's just so, like, the real beauty about Resident Evil is everyone's got a different interpretation to what they believe Resident Evil should be. You know, you might just get fans of the films. These people do exist. I've seen them. You get people fans of the films, fans of the games. You get people that are fans that are old school fans. You get new school fans. You get fans of the remakes. You get fans of the Ethan Winters storyline. It's amazing how Resident Evil over the years has just reinvented itself. You're only as old as you feel, Elizabeth. You're only as old as you feel. There isn't actually. I've always floated the idea of doing like a Resident Evil con. Now, the big issue I have is that like 50% of my audience are in the UK and 50% of my audience are in the US. Very broad brush. So it's kind of hard to like choose. You need somewhere that's like super accessible. And you either have to do it here or have to do it in the US. I was thinking Chicago. Chicago is very centralized. Everyone in the US can get there quite easily. People in the UK can get there quite easily. It's only a 7-hour flight. But yes, I would like to do a Biohazard, like 100%. I'd love to do a Biohazard con. It's a lot of work that goes into it and a lot of money. Like, get the voice actors involved, get the live action actors involved. Just make it like a huge deal, you know. But it's all about cost, man. It's all about cost. It's not cheap to run these things. We could do London. It's just, brother, it's expensive, man. It's fucking expensive. And it's getting everybody here. Like, you got to think a lot of the voice actors are in the US. Get Paul Anderson there. Do you know, it's funny you say that, Short Soreneck, actually. So I've been wanting to do for a long time an interview with Johannes Roberts, and I messaged his agent. We'd literally we're going to be sitting down and talking about a potential podcast interview. Johannes Roberts, if you didn't know, was the director of the Welcome to Raccoon City Resident Evil film, and I just feel like he left so much on the table, and I want to know why he did that. Not in a bad way. I don't think there's any value in bringing somebody on, no matter how much we like or dislike Welcome to Raccoon City. I don't think there's value in bringing somebody on and going, oh, the film was terrible, you're terrible, your family's terrible. Like, it's not productive at all. So my thoughts is bring Johannes Roberts on for an interview and just talk with him. What was your intended vision for Resident Evil? Was Welcome to Raccoon City your intended vision for what you wanted Welcome to Raccoon City to be? Because then you can work out, was it studio interference? Was it he just wanted Resident Evil to be like that? We don't know. I just feel like there's a lot in that film which it's almost like it speeds past. And you're like, whoa, you didn't explain any of what just happened there. Like, can we just like slow everything down? I almost feel like there's a prerequisite in Welcome to Raccoon City that you had to have played the games. That may not have been if he was able to flesh it out. And I could be saying all this, talking a load of bollocks, and actually he turns up on day one to that interview and he goes, yeah, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City was my intended vision in full. I'm happy with it. The studio made a fucking shitload of money out of it. Everyone was happy. And I don't really care about the Resident Evil fans. It was the story I wanted to tell. He could openly come and say that, but until you sit this man down and you interrogate him, he's never gonna tell you, you know. That's my intention. And I messaged his agent. We got very, very close to sitting down and going for a meeting, and just life got away from me, and I just got completely tied up in loads of other things. So I don't know where he's based. If he's based in London, we'll just hire a podcast studio for like a day or whatever, just and shoot the shit. If he's in the US, I've got another plan. Right, so let's go and grab the lighter of lighter. Thought the movie was doomed from the start. It was given a small budget and I think studio didn't really care. Can't speak much on the director. Yeah, it was... I don't necessarily mind the budget. Sorry, I'm late. I just watched Celtic win the league, you poor bastard. Yeah, that was actually a really funny part, Elizabeth. Really funny part. Yeah, exactly, Craig. Like, to be fair, with Paul Anderson, it was very much like what you got on the tin. Like, he never, at any point, said that he was going to be creating an authentic Resident Evil experience that was close to the games. He never said that, as far as I know. And I'm happy to be wrong, but I'm pretty confident from the get-go he was very much like, this is set in the universe of Resident Evil. This is my vision for Resident Evil. That's it. I did, Ryan, actually, yeah. Oh, no, Annie, I know. I know, it's that was painful. But, you know, it's still all to play for. It's not over till it's over and all that fun stuff. Could be wishful thinking. Right. I still haven't got the fucking poison, have I? The serum. He's probably going to be dead by now. We should all be dead by now. Let me just go sort that out. You think the Spurs players lost on purpose? No. People don't play to lose. They play to win. Yeah. And that makes me think, Faceless. Is that by design? Is it by design, or quite simply the studio got involved with the game and tore it to pieces? Oh, I know. Yeah, Sun scores that and any other team. Yeah, exactly, James. But maybe it was already fleshed out extensively. Maybe it was fleshed out extensively and we've just not given it the time of day. Because it was all left on the cutting room floor. Like, Constantine just didn't want that in their film. I don't know. Yeah, I was hoping Arsenal. Arsenal bottled it against Aston Villa. We could have really done with that Villa win. Yeah, well, that's what that's why I didn't agree with when everyone said, "Oh yeah, you know, Tottenham are throwing the game because it's Arsenal." Well, they're still competing for Champions League, you know. Oh, good night, sweet prince. These dudes always throw up. Well, Catherine, you're in luck because me and the boys have been making a short film called The Keeper's Diary, a Biohazard story, which aims to do exactly that. We are in post-production right now. We are weeks away from confirming a release date. Jump on over to YouTube, subscribe to the Residents of Evil on YouTube, and I'll be providing updates very, very shortly on when the release date is. It's an authentic adaptation of The Keeper's Diary. It's been exciting this season. It's been very exciting watching football, because it's not just been like them just running away with it like they always do. Like, I'm going to be honest, like, football gets boring when City are like 20 points ahead of everyone. It's actually been fairly competitive this season. All that matters is United are shit. Yeah, I agree. As long as Man United are doing considerably worse, I don't care. Man United have got bigger issues like fixing the stadium roof. So one thing I did forget to mention is there are two versions of Director's Cut. There's Director's Cut Standard and there's Director's Cut DualShock Edition. The differences are, aside from the obvious, you get DualShock support and you get a different soundtrack. Now, the version I'm playing is the soundtrack's the same as the original. But the different soundtrack that they used in the DualShock version is pretty terrible. So it's memeable. Like, everyone talks about the trumpets farting. That's from that. No, he's dead. F in the chat for Richard. I killed him twice on the pop. They've got to do something, Kenny. I mean, I remember this is what's. I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. Like, I remember 10, 15 years ago, you go to Old Trafford, and it's like a fortress, you know. Oh shit! It's a fortress. Oh, good night. Thank you, James. We'll see you very soon, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Exactly, Annie. That's what I mean. Like, it's been an absolute fortress for years, and now it feels like everyone just goes there to bully United, to be honest. It doesn't have the same, like, aura that it used to. Like, if you're going to Old Trafford, you're in for a bad time. Yeah, we said this last time, didn't we, Craig, actually, that there is something fundamentally wrong about Manchester United. It's not just they've brought in world-class managers, they've brought in world-class talent. They just cannot make it work, and there is a common denominator in all of this. And I think you know who it is, and it starts with G. Have a good one, Super Cooper Kills. Always appreciate you dropping in on the retrospective. Thank you. I have a hard time understanding why to this day Ari hasn't been adapted correctly into a movie or show. Such an easy lap for any studio to pick it up and have talented, passionate individuals behind it. Yet we haven't gotten utter dog shit. I agree. Oh, that was close. Oh, good shot. One shot, one kill. There are going to be things like you guys are going to watch The Keeper's Diary when it comes out. There are going to be things that you are going to see and you are going to be like, I don't think I would have done it like that. And that's perfectly okay. The liberties that we took with The Keeper's Diary are not so much that you're going to be like, this is terrible, I can't believe they took it in this direction. Like, there are things that are patently obvious that we did to do differently to increase interest. Even though it's authentic, it's still, you know, we have applied a little bit of creative liberty. Oh shit. And you may like it, you may hate it, and that's totally okay. You can't please everyone. Want to see Romero's documentary? Well, I actually been talking with Brandon a lot. I think he's just waiting. Yeah, don't worry, Elizabeth, I won't be spoiling it. Oh, I thought someone was here, but no one was. Oh, you wanker. Oh, left it down here. Hey, Jens, how are you? Great to have you in the chat. Do you know when a documentary releases? It's not going too bad, thank you, Jen. We're well, we did die actually, so we had to start again, but it's okay. Let me pop this in. I'll answer you. That's a really interesting question you just put in here, James. Let me just sort this out and I'll come back to you. No, sorry, I completely forgot to answer that question. No, I don't know when it's releasing. It's currently being cleared with the distributors, as far as Brandon has spoken to me about. He's just waiting for them to do their marketing and then push it out. So there's a difference with that it's not like our project. Our project's a fan film. His one, oh, shit. His one is an actual like for-profit limited licensed documentary. Like Brandon literally has the rights to Resident Evil to make a documentary. So it's got a lot more red tape than like what we're doing. So James has asked a very interesting question on Facebook, which I'd like to share with everyone. Andy, I have to ask, do you feel pressured for producing The Keeper's Diary, especially given your affiliation with the Resident Evil series? Could you expand on what you mean, or say that in a different way? Are you saying, do I feel pressured to deliver? Is that what you're saying? Or a pressure to deliver a certain product? Give us a bit more meat on the bones and I'll answer it. I think that's what you mean, but yeah, come back to us. Do I feel pressured producing The Keeper's Diary? Do I feel pressure as in like it's up to me, you know, it's up to us to take out Umbrella? Marcus articulated my point absolutely perfectly. Old Trafford was a fortress. People were scared to go there. Now it's just a shadow of its former self. City are unreal. Like literally, City's. If you get rid of City's first team, their fucking second team could win the league. It's that crazy. But also, Arsenal don't have 200 unanswered questions regarding financial fair play. So there's also that. Okay. Right, so I've got a bunch of gear here. Yeah, he's delivered, to be fair. Old Declan Rice. Begins with G. G virus? Huh? Right. So we're not doing too bad. I can't believe Arsenal's so close. I know, it's like, it's a typical Arsenal thing to happen. I mean, it's still all to play for, and it all comes down to the last day. Pressure to deliver something. Right, so James is a follow-up to what he said earlier. So this was, do I have pressure produced in the Keeper's Diary? Pressure to deliver something that is representative of the RE fan base side. Kind of what the fans want versus what the bullshit we normally get. Not really, because I know it's authentic. Like, it was pitched to me. It was pitched to me that it was an authentic adaptation. Let me just kill this dude. Damn. I'm just going to let Rebecca play the piano. Piano, piano, piano. Actually, that's a good point. Like, in the previous playthrough, Rebecca's still playing the piano. Chris never goes back to her because he died in the shotgun room. But yes, I'm not under pressure because I know our capabilities. Like, it was pitched to me as an authentic adaptation. I bought into Andrew's idea. I knew what he wanted to achieve, and I assembled people to make it happen. Quite simply. You know, brought on Nuji, brought on Anthony, brought on the actors, stuff like that. Hey, Small Bricksville, how's it going? So, yes, there was never a worry. Let me just skip this.
It's me, Chris.
Yeah, exactly that, Craig. Like, yeah, no, 100%, James. Like, they're big shoes to fill. I mean, the bar's very low for an adaptation, but you're quite right. If we put out a product and it's like not Resident Evil, people are gonna be like, dude, you fucking spoke a big game and you've completely mugged yourself off. And they are entitled to say that. So yes, absolutely, it's not a knock. Yeah, I didn't take it as that, to be fair. But yeah, people are quite right. They quite rightly can call us out and go, listen, you said you was going to deliver an authentic adaptation. I don't even know what drivel you just put out, but that is not Resident Evil. Actually, I need some pistol bullets. I'm going to change costume as well. Fuck it. Let's go, Jeremy. Love that. What's the quickest you've managed to play through? So, on a first playthrough, Seb, Resident Evil is going to take you 8 hours. 100%. Oh, shit. He's a quick boy. Quick boy. Quick boy. Like, when you're reading all the files, saving a lot, it's going to take you 8 hours. Because you're always going to waste too much ammo and run out. And there's never enough ink ribbons. Oh, double headshot. Let's go. But I would say I can get director's cut completed in about 2.5 hours. Aaron, how are you? Long time no speak. I'd like to see a movie about Wesker and why he turned. Yes, so would I actually, Catherine. That's a good question. What's your favourite Resident Evil movie, Andy? The first one. The first one's by far the best. What's everybody else's favourite Resident Evil film? If you have a favourite Resident Evil film, I appreciate it's pretty slim pickings these days. Sent him to the Shadow Realm. So I'm just going to change into the costume. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Made in heaven. Made in heaven. Big Willie style. I like Atari too, aside from how cringy they made Jill. Yeah, Apocalypse just kind of completely side shows Jill. Like, out of everything they do in Resident Evil, in the Resident Evil films, Jill is the closest thing to the game, and she is just completely overtaken by Alice. And it's so sad to see, man. Yeah, she absolutely killed it. Do you like Silent Hill? Yes, we do, Seb. Hey Natalie, how are you? Every time I see your name, I think of Home Alone 4. Hey Natalie. If everyone remembers Home Alone 4. Yes, we can get rid of that key as well. Nice. We're not doing too bad, thank you. We did die, so we're about to start again. That's probably for good reason, to be fair, Mark. Well, the third one was pretty good. The fourth one was just like a made-for-TV film. I liked all the anime films for live action. I admit I liked Alice in the first and second movies. She was okay. But then she went all superhuman and was fucking beating the Nemesis up hand to hand. That just doesn't happen in Resident Evil. Missed opportunity, Elizabeth. Missed opportunity. The only thing with the anime movies, yes, they're more Resident Evil, but they're just forgettable, man. Like, or they're just like pointless. Like, look at Death Island. Death Island is just Resident Evil's answer to Avengers. Let's just bring everybody back for no apparent reason. Let's bring Jill in, have her not aged since 1999, even though it's set in 2015. Have no, like, issue with the chest or anything. Completely ruins the fucking... completely ruins the canon. I mean, Death Island is just so forgettable. Infinite Darkness, they're just safe Resident Evil action films. To me, the only good one was Degeneration. Because it had, like, a scene in there from Resident Evil 2. Not really, to be honest, Seb. I watched Walking Dead up until about season 3, I want to say. Yeah, Mike Epps was pretty funny. GTA motherfucker. I usually drive a Cadillac. Poof. But yeah, The Walking Dead, I watched to about season 3. And then I never watched Fear the Walking Dead. But yeah, I watched out to season 3 and I was just like, man, I'm tapping out of this shit. It's boring as hell. 1, 2, and 3 of Walking Dead is just elite. Absolutely elite TV. And then like, dude, like I was watching season 4 of The Walking Dead and I'm watching it and I'm like, bro, I've watched like 3 episodes and there's been no story progression. Like, this is the big issue with The Walking Dead. It's like, it's that really oversimplistic tale of, like, episode 1, 2, and 3 are really good. And the Negan series was really good. That kind of had a little bit of a resurgence. But like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just like such an overdone trope. It's like, oh, like in zombie apocalypse or any post-apocalyptic series, it's like we're not the monster, they're not the monsters, it's the humans that are the monsters, it's the humans that are evil, you know? It's just such an overdone trope. Like, Resident Evil Extinction cracks me up. Just talking about Resident Evil films again. Like, Resident Evil Extinction just fucking... like, Apocalypse is... like, isolated Raccoon City incident. And then Extinction is just, like, completely Mad Max post-apocalyptic. Like, that's where it really went in its own direction. What are your opinion on the Last of Us series? Chef's kiss. Last of Us and Fallout are 2 prime examples of excellent adaptations. Lightning does strike twice sometimes, so I've saved it. Oh. Is he getting up? I didn't, Warren, actually. CC, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the Mortal Kombat film was good. I remember the Mortal Kombat film being exceptional. Hey, Ink Ribbon Gangs, my boy. How's it doing? Great to have you in the stream. It's been a hot minute since I caught up with you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're keeping well. Best Chris outfit. Well, I don't know. I think the... is it the blue bomber from the PC version's pretty good? I think it's the blue bomber. I'm high as fuck. Of course. My favourite part is how every Anderson film after Extinction spends the first part having to rewrite whatever cliffhanger they set off. Yeah, it's absurd. Dude, that guy made over $1 billion making Resident Evil films that aren't even Resident Evil films. It's crazy. Guy is just a tank when it comes to earning money on IPs that aren't related to the fucking same IPs. I love your RE memes on Instagram, by the way. They make my day. Oh, that's all good, Kai. I'll make them for you. Welcome to Raccoon City was the worst film. I think it's probably the best Resident Evil film there's been, outside of maybe the first Resident Evil film. But that I appreciate that's probably not a high bar. Lance Reddick. Let's talk about the Netflix series then, actually. Lance Reddick was fucking amazing in that. It's just a shame that... oh, man, Andrew Dabb fucking missed an opportunity with that dude. Like, he wanted to tell this fucking, like, supernatural writing. Like, it was literally like Resident Evil if it was written and was meant to be on the CW network. I think Monster Hunter equally did arse, actually. I'm not sure. That also had Mia in it. Why does it need Mia in it? I mean, to be fair, if I was a fucking... If my wife was Mia Jovovich and I was the director making fucking over $1 billion making Resident Evil films, I'd probably put her in it as well. Imagine the residual payments you get off that. Holy shit. They must be absolutely coining it in. The fucking caterpillar. Dude, I remember getting so hyped. I was like, man, the Gravedigger's in there. The chainsaw guy. The fucking Red Nine's in it. Which is kind of weird. One of the women mentioned Barry. Yeah, R.I.P. Lance Reddick. He was exceptional. He was obviously like working with what he had, and he deserved more. But yeah, R.I.P. man. I can't go back to Rebecca right now. Sadly, no porn parody. Oh, can we get a double headshot here? Nope. Oh, good night. Yeah, I literally watched the series. I was on my honeymoon, and I woke up at 3 a.m. to watch it. And yeah, I literally watched it all, and I was like, what the fuck did I watch? It's just fucking arse, bro. Oh, didn't really want that. They do, Elizabeth, yeah. Is he stuck? Oh, he was for a second. Oh, good night. Oh, shit. Yeah, you're better off just watching like the best of scenes online. Now, one thing that is exceptional about it, and I've chatted with him in great depth, Kevin Lingenfelser, who was the VFX artist, VFX supervisor on Resident Evil Netflix. Man, he did the CG in Resident Evil Netflix is really good. And Kevin is a massive Resident Evil fan. I brought him on for a podcast a couple of years ago. He was a really cool guy, man. Resident Evil 2, 1998, by far the best. Like one that speaks to Andy's heart. What's your favourite key item? Ooh. Has to be the crests, man. They're just so funny. They're just like so ludicrous. Like, I forgot, oh no, I haven't got one on me. Like the moon, the sun, the star, and the wind, they just look so absurd. Okay, we've all said what we hate about the... Oh, yes, that's a great point. I'll come to that in a minute, Elizabeth. I always like posting this
You
point.
like it?
Oh, that was great.
That was freaking great. Baby Jamie, how's it going?
What
didn't know
is
you were married.
that?
Yeah, married with children. Remake of the Death Mask. What do you think the remake could have? Ooh, they'll probably go with the Death Masks again, wouldn't they? I think they're going to stick very close to RE1. Yes, right. So Elizabeth says, obviously we've all spoke about in depth about what we hate about the live action films and series. What are positive points about the series? And you can't say it's got an ending. That's illegal. It's got to be a legitimately positive point about the Resident Evil films or series. The first one's really good. The laser scene's very good. I really enjoy the laser scene. It certainly is, Tony. I've got a video dropping in a couple of hours after probably about half hour. I've just got to wrap the stream up and then I'll post it. Okay, let's go and pop this back. The Hive was never used in Resident Evil before Resident Evil film, 2002 film. I think the Hive is a brilliant location. Very well. It's very well like the location is just so good. Yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, it was in Resident Evil 4. Yeah, the Hive is exceptional. Love the makeup design for the Cerebus. Yep, I can see that. The casting for Chris Redfield in Welcome to Raccoon City was good. Yep, I agree with that. He plays a great young Chris Redfield. I've actually done posts on that on Biohazard. The Red Queen is really good. I like the concept of the Red Queen. Jill's actress was exceptional. Sienna Guillory, I think her name is. English actor. Yeah, they really hate Claire having a ponytail for some reason. Right, I've got the key. Nemesis looked good. In certain sections, yes. In other sections, it looks fucking awful. Like, it looks like a guy with a big head running around. Especially like the fight sequences. Also, does he say stars in the film? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he does, but he says stars in the film, but there are no stars in the film. If that is the case, I can't remember. Like, so who's the Nemesis for, you know? Wesker and Welcome to Raccoon City was a terrible cast, yep. And the whole Wesker storyline in Welcome to Raccoon City is pretty terrible. Like, Wesker is just an evil dude. he isn't this like, oh, is it all worth fighting for? No, he doesn't do that. He's an evil guy. It's okay to just make people evil. They've not got to be sympathetic. It's just an evil dude who wants his way or the highway, you know? Ah, hang on. I've got the poison, haven't I? Let me go and grab it. Sorry, the venom. Serum, sorry. Oh, what? That one area had all the STARS members in it. That's pretty arse, isn't it? That is pretty terrible. If that is the only place. Everything sucks, but I only hope and savior is the Keeper's Diary. I think it would be a good. I have to set my expectations, obviously, but I think it will be. All I want people to do when they see Keeper's Diary is, and I've said this before. Let me just pause this. When people see the Keeper's Diary, all I want people to do is go, do you know what? Fair play. You had an idea to create an authentic Resident Evil adaptation. And you nailed it. You did, or you provided a serviceable adaptation. You proved it is in fact possible to make an authentic Resident Evil film experience. That's all we want. And maybe like pie in the sky, Constantine look at it and they go, you know what, maybe people do want an authentic Resident Evil film. I'm not saying come to me or anything, because I'm not sure how I'd be able to. I mean, I probably could do a big budget film, but I don't know if I'd want to. You have to give up a lot, you know. Are you covered legally? Yeah, Capcom have already reached out to us. So when I'd made the campaign up and I initially launched it, an email from Capcom came in, and Andrew said, "There's an email from Capcom in the inbox. I can't open it." I was like, "Okay, all right, I'll open it." And I read through the terms, and to be honest, it wasn't really that bad. All they said was, like, I'm going to paraphrase it heavily, but basically the crux of what they said was, "Hey guys, really cool project you've got going on over at the Keeper's Diary on Indiegogo. Obviously, we own Resident Evil, so how are you funding this? And what the fund's going to be used for?" So I wrote them back, and they was very stern. They was very friendly. They was firm but fair, I think would be the what I would say they were. And yeah, they just said, and I wrote back to them. I basically just put a legal letter back to them and just said, "Listen, this is who we are. This is, obviously, I take it you've read the Kickstarter account." Obviously, I'm paraphrasing. Obviously, you've read the Kickstarter, the Indiegogo campaign. You know what it's about. There's a fucking 10-point disclaimer at the bottom that says it's a not-for-profit film. All the funds we're making on this project are going into production. We're not intending on selling it. It's going to be released in full, free of charge for everyone to watch on our YouTube account. This is derivative works, like, in my opinion, and I didn't put this in the email, but in my opinion, there are cosplayers that cosplay as Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine that are actually for profit, and they don't get taken down. They're literally making money off looking like Chris Redfield. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion, by the way. I'm just making the argument. But yeah, I just wrote back to him and I just said, you know, we're really passionate Resident Evil fans. We've been passionate for the series. We've wanted to create a fun little short film for fans. It's completely funded by the community. We're up front. I even said to him, you know, I'll send you, because I've got like a cost sheet that's got a full breakdown of, I mean, it is to the cent, completely worked out by day how we've spent the money. And I said, I'm more than happy to send you this. So you've got a complete cost report. So it proves to you, yes, in fact, it was not for profit, etc., etc. But I did say to them, if this project is taken down, it would be disappointing because all of the figureheads in the Resident Evil community are associated with this film. So it sends a very bad message if this project is taken down to the community, because all of the figureheads in the community are directly involved with the project. That's one of the terms that we can't do faceless, unfortunately. I mean, yes and no. The way I saw it was, listen, if they're going to take it down, they'll fucking take it down, wouldn't they? Like, they're not going to not do it because, like, if they've already made their mind up, they've made their mind up. Yeah, like, the way I see it, Elizabeth, is if they stop us, okay, they stop us from making a not-for-profit film, so we're not selling it, we're not making any money from it. I ain't made any money from Keeper's Diary. Dude, I've lost money on Keeper's Diary. I've lost like fucking, like, because I'm a consultant, I don't get paid if I don't work. So, like, after all that time that I was out there filming it, I wasn't getting paid. So, it didn't make money on that. Obviously, I put my own personal funds into the project, which I'm happy to do. So, yeah, absolutely, it's all for the love of the game. Thank you. Gotta go. Let me go. Oh, yes, perfect. He's cool, and I've used the poison, the venom. Sorry, serum. Fuck, why do I keep getting that wrong? I think they're doing their due diligence. Yeah, I expect him. I mean, I'm happy they did reach out because they obviously thought it was so authentic. They thought we were trying to cosplay Capcom. You know, I should take that as a term of endearment. But at the end of the day, like, say what you want about Capcom, they still let us. Well, in all fairness, they came back to. Oh, that's what I forgot to say. I completely forgot to finish the story. They come back to us and said, "Hi, thank you for the email. We understand your position, and we're not going to halt production at this time." So they've not given us a green light. They've not given us their approval legally. But what they have said is they're not going to get in the way because they understand that it is a crowd-funded fan film that's not for profit. Well, once you see Keeper's Diary faceless, you'll know. You'll know if we... I appreciate not everyone's going to love it. It will be like, that was an interesting direction you took that. And at the end of the day, it's still an independent fan film. And we had literally like 0.001% of the budget for the first Resident Evil film. So obviously we absolutely did our best we could with the resources we had. And we had some very good resources. And we had very good cameras. Well, a very good camera. We was using a red Komodo. We had anamorphic lenses. We had cinema level lighting. So yeah, we had a very good setup. Is it like $1 million setup? No, but it was cinema. I actually think, yeah, I'm gonna grab the crow section, and then I'll probably wrap up. Yeah, I mean, if you really want to, what wanker? If you really want to know what's in Keeper's Diary, like you can literally see it right now. So in the campaign, this is, and again, you guys have to appreciate, like, we didn't know. It's really easy to look back and go, oh yeah, we've crowdfunded a $40,000 film. It's very easy to go back and say that. But when me and Andrew was coming up with the budget originally, we had to budget, like, I mean, what I'm trying, it's really hard to articulate this, maybe because it's late. But what I'm trying to say is, if we'd have had 350 grand, Keeper's Diary would look a certain way. If we'd have had $1 million, Keeper's Diary would look a certain way. If we had $5,000, Keeper's Diary would look a certain way. That's what I'm trying to say. So we thought that $40,000 would be a reasonable figure to raise money without kind of, one, ringing alarm bells, two, being not, because there was only two of us managing the money, like, two, managing a figure like I don't want to run a campaign that's $1 million, or certainly, I mean, I didn't just run a campaign, I obviously produced the film as well. I didn't want to produce something and have $1 million in a bank account, because, like, that's a big liability to have. You know, $40,000 is fine though. So we had to budget for $40,000. So looking back, man, I can't remember where I was going with this. I really can't fucking remember where I was going with this. But yeah, I suppose looking back, what I'm trying to say is we designed it to be a 40k film, so we had to set our expectations of what 40k looked like. If we got the opportunity again, it'd be different, because you could say, oh, we'll raise $100,000 and, you know, do things differently. I'll tell you something. Well, actually, when the film comes out, maybe I'll do a separate Q&A of things I would have done differently. And actually, feel free, if you want to know now, I'll let you know now. Yes, sorry, that was the point I was trying to make. Yeah, it'd be like, you raise 40k, the budget is 40k. But what I'm trying to say, Elizabeth, we didn't know that this is the first time this has ever been attempted in history, crowdfunding a Resident Evil film. We had a $40,000 budget, which we built a budget for, but we didn't know that we'd get and that's very hard to. What I'm trying to say is we could obviously, we've delivered a Resident Evil film for 40 or 50k, but we didn't know it was possible to raise 40k. So we had to set our expectations to what 40k is. And the only way that we could have done that is if you look in the campaign, this is the overarching point I was trying to say. If you look in the Indiegogo campaign, there's a concept animatic, which is effectively a storyboard of what the Keeper's Diary is going to be. So I wanted no, like, ambiguity into what people were supporting. Like, when people put their money in, we were effectively going to adapt what that concept animatic was, because that was a shot for shot Keeper's Diary. Like, if you want to see what the story of the Keeper's Diary is, and you want to spoil yourself, or you want to get a familiarity of what you think the Keeper's Diary is going to look like, go to the Indiegogo campaign, look up that concept animatic. We literally have done that. It's very, very like, you didn't know what you was capable of. I know what we're capable of. I've made short films before. Andrew's a time-served professional in the media space, so he's used to big budgets anyway. When you're attempting something that has no historic data, like what we've done with Keeper's Diary, no one else has done a crowdfunded Resident Evil film before. So we didn't know the scale of the customer base. Like, what I'm saying is, if we'd for our first ever project, we'd have said, right, Keeper's Diary, $100,000 budget. We didn't know that it was possible to raise $100,000 in this community. We didn't know it was possible to raise 40 grand. We didn't know it was possible to raise 10 grand, 90 grand, etc. Because it had never been done before. So that's why we designed it for 40 grand, because we was like, 40k, we know we can get this and this equipment. We know we can get this plant that we need. We know we can use these actors. We know we can fly everyone in, and it's going to cost this. And all of that together comes to about 40k. I hope that makes sense. I mean, this is really like the business end of... This is the business end of The Keeper's Diary. And I would really like, if you guys are interested, once the films come out, I'd really like to go into detail on, like, decisions we made and oversights sometimes. Like, one thing I wouldn't like to do again is build sets. Like, holy shit, I'm never building a set again. That was painful. Get professionals in or dress sets rather than build sets. It was very hard. We should do a CG film. I'll tell you what you would like, Faceless, is I'm involved in a project called Carrier, a Raccoon City story. And basically, if you're a big fan of Max Payne, sure, I've helped produce it and get the name out there, but Sean is basically making a crime series based in Raccoon City before the outbreak. And it plays this like cop who's got like a seedy past, and it depicts Umbrella and Raccoon City in a completely different way. It's really, really wholesome. Literally type Carrier, a Raccoon City story on YouTube. It's completely free of charge to go and watch. There's 2 episodes out, and it's just, the lore is perfect in it. It's got Marvin in it. It's got Brian Irons in it. It's got the Mayor Warren in it. It's like a gritty crime thriller that's set in Raccoon City. That's the best way I can describe it. I'm not Reeler, no. I never made mods, to be fair. I always helped showcase them. I love that Inky Boy. I need you to do some voice acting for that, actually. That'd be good. I mean, the actual set building itself, Elizabeth, wasn't too bad, but we had one shot. We had one shot with Keeper's Diary and 1 week to do it, and we fell quite badly behind on the first couple of days, so we had to just like absolutely crunch to catch back up, which we did. I agree, Inky Boy. I think we should. Well, actually, I know Aidan Watkins is making his own engine. See, Faceless, I'm the other way around. Like, I would like to make... Like, there's 2 big passions in my life, right? Wrestling and Resident Evil. And Resident Evil ended up picking up some serious steam. But I always wanted to do something in the wrestling space, because literally my Twitter... If it's not Resident Evil, it's fucking Fightful, or it's Wrestle Purists, or it's Faceless, or it's Tiger Style. Like, there's literally no in between. Okay, gang, right. I think we're in a good place to kind of wrap up for today. We will be back next week with more Resident Evil retrospective. It's my intention that we move on to Resident Evil 1.5. Me and you could do something in the future. Yeah, man, Faceless podcast. I'm telling you. There's mileage in it. We just need to come up with something. Come up with a brand. Faceless podcast works, though. But yes, going to be playing Resident Evil 1.5 next week. I think that'd be such an interesting stream for people that aren't familiar with Resident Evil 1.5 or the Resident Evil 2 prototype. It's a really important part of history which needs to be told. If we're going to do a retrospective series on Resident Evil, we need to include Resident Evil 1.5. Absolutely. So that's what we're going to be doing next Wednesday. I'll be back on Sunday with Lara Sundays. We play Lara Croft, Tomb Raider every single Sunday. 9 PM UK time. We are currently on Tomb Raider 2, having a lot of fun with it. And yeah, can't wait to jump in with that. A quick question: if you could cross RE over with any game, regardless of genre, which one would it be? Ooh, Tomb Raider has to be. Has to be. My two loves: Tomb Raider, Resident Evil. But yes, I am going to end the FBG stream. Thank you everyone for watching on FBG. Is there any way we could watch your old videos? It's annoying because Facebook Gaming deletes a lot of my older streams after a certain period of time. But you can go on my YouTube. I think there's some on there. Biohazard Declassified. Certainly within the retrospective series, they're all on YouTube. I've put them in a separate playlist, so you can do that. But yes, thank you everyone on Facebook for watching the stream. We will catch up with you very, very soon. We will end the Tiki-Toki as well. Thank you everybody on Tiki-Toki. Man, it's just been wild across the board today. Just tons, absolutely tons of interaction across all the streams. It's been amazing. So we'll end that and we will raid out on the Tiki of Toki. Let me, sorry, on Twitch, excuse me. Let's see who we can raid. Thank you. We've had like 50 viewers constant in a stream, which, by the way, is so difficult. So difficult to do on Twitch, is to have like a reasonable, consistent viewership, especially like 50 viewers consistent. So thank you everyone. A huge shout out to Snake Stoken for the raid earlier. Very appreciated. My brother in arms, Snake Stogie. Thank you to everybody who's checked the stream out. Remember, Sunday, tonight we're going to be posting that Resident Evil 1 video. I'm literally going to upload it the second I end the stream and put a couple of social posts out. And then Sunday we're going to be doing some more Lara Croft. So yes, speaking of wrestling, I realise you look like a more likeable version of JD McDonough. I've never heard of that before, but I will take that with good grace. That's a new one. I get told I look like Eggsy from Kingsman. That's always a key one. I always get told. Vickers. Sneevel's live. Is anyone live from Team RPD? Raided me. So I'm just trying to find somebody to raid. I think one. Yeah, I'll raid Venusaur. He's raided me before. Okay, right. You're going over to Venusaur. Thank you, everyone. We will see you all very, very soon, I'm sure.